What is up, Bitcoiners? Good morning. Happy holidays if you guys are celebrating. If you're not, happy Monday. Today is Monday, December 23rd. So Wednesday is Christmas. I'm really looking forward to being able to spend some much needed holiday time with my little family, with my little one, eat some of that really good food. My wife is making beans. Super stoked, super excited. So if you guys are celebrating, Merry Christmas. If you guys aren't, happy Monday. Let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be diving into today on the news. The world's second largest oil fields services company is starting to invest in Bitcoin mining. The next story is a potential threat to SHA256, the encryption algorithm that Bitcoin uses. And then the last thing I want to talk about is Hut8, a leader in the Bitcoin mining space, is now also acquiring Bitcoin. Welcome to Channel 256 News. I'm your Bitcoin and Freedom Maxi host, Trevor, and each day during the week, I will do my best to give you a brief overview of what is happening in the crypto and Bitcoin landscape. Now, notice that I have delineated between the two because crypto and Bitcoin are not the same thing. And if you remember that, you're going to do just fine. So before we get into the news for Monday, December 23rd, we're going to start with our mining metrics. The block height at the time of recording is 876,034. Our total network hash rate is 784.4 exahash. The daily hash value is $61.03 per petahash. And the all-time high, which we hit on December 17th, is 108,280. We're currently sitting at about 95,750, which is very normal for Christmas time. We do normally see a drop, so a little dip in the price. So don't be scared. Bitcoin does what it does, and all the fundamentals are the same. We're going to keep on ripping after the new year. I guarantee it. So the last difficulty change happened on December 15th. It was a 4.4% adjustment upwards. And in 925 blocks on December 29th, we have an estimated difficulty adjustment of 1.4% upwards. And the last thing is our fee rate. We're looking at about 6 sats per VByte. All right, guys, let's jump into the news. But real quick, Channel 256 News is proudly brought to you by Bitcoin Mining World. Bitcoin Mining World is more than a mining equipment supplier. We're educators and advocates for the next generation of Bitcoin miners. Through training programs, boot camps, and a growing network of miners, we're decentralizing the network and fostering a thriving ecosystem. Every purchase supports our mission to empower miners and build a stronger, more resilient Bitcoin network. Let's mine the future together. For our first story, Halliburton, the world's second largest oil field services company, has made a strategic equity investment in 360 Energy, an oil field Bitcoin mining company, through its innovation accelerator, Haliburton Labs. The partnership announced on December 18th includes collaboration to expand 360 Energy's off-grid mining solutions using stranded or flared natural gas at oil and gas well sites. This initiative leverages Haliburton's extensive expertise to support 360 Energy's modular in-field computing technology, which turns wasted resources into Bitcoin mining revenue. With 285 petahashes of mining infrastructure already operational, 360 Energy CEO Chris Alfano praised Haliburton's investment as a significant validation of the market potential and a catalyst for the company's growth. So, something that I think is very important for people to realize is that despite the amount of electric cars and the amount of people who are absurdly pushing the green narrative, the renewable energy narratives, we need oil and gas. We're going to need to keep drilling. We need fossil fuels. And the reason is because if we're going to build out our infrastructure, if we're going to supply energy to these failing grids, if we're going to supply energy to this growing population, then we're going to need something to provide that energy. And right now, hydrocarbons, oil and gas is the only way for us to do that. Small nuclear reactors are coming, but that's more of like a 5 to 10 year play. What are we going to do in the meantime? We need to drill. And I know a lot of people don't like hearing that, but we have abundant sources of oil and gas in this country. And so, part of the byproduct of oil is this natural gas that you can't take it to market. So what's going to happen is either Bitcoin miners like Halliburton Labs and 360 Energy are going to find these oil sites, and they're going to stick a genset on top of it and capture some of that natural gas, or that natural gas is going to get flared or just vented to the atmosphere. And that's being vented and flared is very harmful for the environment. So Bitcoin mining is the solution to that, because if you just cap it with a genset and you burn it there, you're not getting the amount of hydrocarbons and waste into the atmosphere. So it's a much better situation for everybody. We need the energy that oil and gas supplies, but we need to be able to mitigate some of that flaring, and that's where Bitcoin comes in. So, Halliburton has a strategic advantage in the sense that, like, they've been in the oil and gas sector for a long time. And so I think that they're going to end up as leaders in this space, going out and creating some of these strategic partnerships like with 360 Energy. One thing that I hope happens is that this approach kind of starts to shift the narrative around Bitcoin mining, highlighting its potential for environmental benefits and, making the world a better place for everyone. Channel 256 News is brought to you by the Mastermind Club. So January is almost here, and January being one of the coldest months here in North America, January is Heat Punks month at the Mastermind Club. Learn how to mine Bitcoin at home and put that generated heat to good use. Ryan Ramager from Cryobite Labs will discuss the CryoBlock, a revolutionary hybrid cooling system that's more efficient and affordable than immersion systems. Join us Friday, January 10th at 10 a.m. Central and discover the benefits of hash rate heating. Go to the link in the show notes to sign up for the Mastermind Club and take your mining operation to the next level, whether you're a home miner or an industrial miner. Our second story of the day: does Bitcoin face a potential threat from quantum computing? Is it possible that this could undermine the cryptographic security that underpins the entire Bitcoin network? A recent article from Blockspace explains how quantum computers might one day break Bitcoin's elliptic curve cryptography, exposing private keys and endangering funds. However, this story is still theoretical, as current quantum technology is far from the scale required to pose a real risk. Proposed solutions include transitioning to quantum-resistant cryptographic algorithms, such as lattice-based cryptography, to safeguard Bitcoin's future. Developers and researchers are proactively exploring these defenses, ensuring the network can adapt long before quantum computing becomes a tangible threat. The community's focus on reliance and innovation highlights Bitcoin's ability to evolve and protect itself against emerging challenges. One thing that I want people to realize, and I'm not the first person to say this, so I don't want to take any credit here, but this isn't just about Bitcoin. I think that people are like, oh, if quantum computers get strong enough, like, they're going to break SHA256, they're going to break Bitcoin. It's like, well, I think that's the last thing that's going to be hacked and broken into. If quantum computers get to the point where they can break this kind of encryption, everything from global finance, like the banks, and massive data centers, like cloud computing centers like Google and Microsoft, are going to get broken first, because those are massive troves of information, and those centers are going to become very, very vulnerable. Bitcoin can adapt. We can change the code, we can update the code, we can fork the code if we need to, like a backwards compatible soft fork, to make it to where we're resistant to these quantum attacks. Whereas the legacy systems, like, they can't do that. They can't just update and change everything. So I really think that these attack vectors are going to come in, and it's going to be Bitcoin that adapts and morphs and changes. And we have, we have some time before this happens. So, make sure that you're updating your wallets and making sure that the code is secure against quantum attacks. One thing that I'm kind of curious about is, and I had a conversation on my podcast with Jürgen Nitter back in Brainerd. Satoshi's coins have been held up in these legacy wallets for 13 years, a long time. They've never moved. And whether that's because Satoshi himself has diamond hands and just won't move them, or maybe Satoshi's not around anymore. Either way, those coins are probably the most susceptible to this kind of attack, this quantum attack. And if those coins are compromised, I believe that it's going to cause chaos in the Bitcoin market. This is something that Jürgen Nitter had kind of talked about. Those coins could flood the market, sending Bitcoin's price tumbling, and it would cause a lot of damage. So my hope is that, Satoshi is still around, and maybe we see Satoshi's coins move to a more quantum resistant wallet address. Maybe not. Maybe, I mean, I think that will really be the answer for us on whether or not Satoshi's still around. Obviously, if those coins move and then they sit there, then Satoshi's still got control. If they don't, then Satoshi's not with us anymore. Those are my 2 cents. It's the holiday season, and what better gift to give yourself than the gift of a Bitcoin miner? We have 104 terahash S19J Pros priced at $5.60 a terahash. That's just $583 a miner plus shipping. Contact our head of business development, Yannick, to learn more. The links will be in the show notes. For our final story today, Hut8, a prominent Bitcoin mining company, has invested $100 million in Bitcoin, bringing its total holdings to an impressive $1 billion. This strategic purchase underscores the company's commitment to leveraging Bitcoin as a long-term asset and solidifying its position as one of the industry's largest Bitcoin holders. With this acquisition, Hut8 aims to strengthen its financial resilience and capitalize on Bitcoin's potential growth in the coming years. The move reflects a broader trend among mining firms, which are increasingly holding Bitcoin as a core part of their balance sheets. Hut8's aggressive accumulation also signals confidence in the cryptocurrency's future value, particularly as the post-halving era approaches. By bolstering its BTC reserves, Hut8 is positioning itself as a key player in the Bitcoin ecosystem, reinforcing the growing convergence between mining operations and financial investment strategies. This is interesting. This is something that I'm like, wow, like you've got Bitcoin miners who create the asset now purchasing the asset as well. Not all of the publicly traded companies are selling the coin to stay afloat, which means they're actually doing something profitable. They're making money, they're making Bitcoin, and now they're buying Bitcoin and holding it on their balance sheet at an expedited pace. Something I heard a couple days ago, and I can't remember the podcast, I don't remember who said it, but when the creator of an asset buys the asset as well, goes out and buys the asset, that sends a huge signal to the market that whatever that asset is, it's highly valuable and the supply is very scarce. You don't see contractors building houses and then going and buying more houses. It's just not something that you see. And when gold miners are mining for gold, like they're not also buying gold. This is an interesting market play that is happening right now. Hut8 is really sending this signal to the market that there is scarcity. Obviously, miners understand the nature of limited supply of Bitcoin, and I think they probably understand it better than anyone. This buying spree kind of suggests that Hut8 believes that demand will outstrip supply, which is going to drive prices higher. Obviously, they have more of a long-term vision. This kind of behavior indicates they are thinking long-term. They're not really looking for quick profits by selling their mined Bitcoin. They're accumulating it and anticipating significant future gains. That is all for today's broadcast. Thank you for tuning in to Channel 256 News. This broadcast was brought to you by Bitcoin Mining World and the Mastermind Club. If you liked what you saw, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe for more content. I'm your host, Trevor Bello, and I'll see you tomorrow for another news update. Until then, remember to stay grounded, keep educating yourself, and constantly grow. A quick reminder that Channel 256 News is for education and information purposes only. All opinions are my own and not those of Bitcoin Mining World or its affiliates. Please do your own research and speak to a professional before making any investment decisions.